Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, and we are back to discuss something that has come up in my comment section, okay? So recently I am reviewing season 11 of Sister Wives, and in the review that I put out yesterday and the one that I will be putting out tomorrow, one of the things that I mentioned is how selfish I felt like Tony and Mykelti were being because they're expecting for the family to pay for their wedding even though they're already going to be doing another wedding that has already been planned for Madison. Now, in my review, one of the things that I noticed in the comment section was that some of you all feel like the family didn't have to pay for this at all. And I said, I never thought about that because I was just going with what we were being told on our screens. So knowing that it's a possibility that the family didn't have to pay for it at all, it makes me feel like I need to change it from their being selfish about this money situation to them just being selfish about this Madison situation. Because at this point, I don't know what in the world is going on. I say, who paid for the wedding? So I did a little research. And the internet seems just as confused as I am. I came across this article that basically says that Mykelti got a free wedding. Say what? I couldn't hold it out as long as I wanted to, you all. It's been a while. Y'all know that cold that I had jacked me up. So my lungs are still kind of recovering. No, it was not COVID. It's looking like it was the flu, but it messed me up. So with that, that's the best I got for my high pitch, my high pitch Say What. But yes, this is another episode of Say What. Knowing that Mykelti may have gotten a free wedding makes me feel like, okay, so you mean to tell me that this is yet another example of the Browns fabricating stories for storylines? Even without a TLC contract, Mykelti may have gotten a free wedding. That's the title of this article. It's by Lane Vasquez, and it was published in July 16th, 2023. I will be leaving the article in the notes so that if you want to click on it, you can go ahead and look at it. Mykelti's Brown and her husband Tony were criticized for their pricey wedding, but TLC largely footed the bill. Right. I was like, what? Mykelti Brown and Tony got married back in 2016, and their wedding was a source of drama for Sister Wives. Even though Mykelti, as one of the many Brown kids, probably didn't have a contract set up with TLC, she did benefit financially while tying the knot. Initially, fans thought that Mykelti and Tony were taking advantage of Cody and Christine to fund their wedding. It's me. I am fans. Fans is me, because that's what I thought. That's what I just said. But later, the truth came out. Mykelti Brown and her then fiance went wild with Cody's money. When Mykelti Brown and her fiance began planning their wedding, TLC was right there to film the preparations. What they filmed in part was Mykelti and Tony's rethinking their Mexican vintage wedding plans after sitting down to talk with the staff at the venue. In one clip, Mykelti and Tony discuss wanting authentic street tacos at their wedding. We have not gotten to that portion of the review. I'm sure once I get there, I'll have things to say about it, but let's continue. After which they were told they can't have outside vendors at the venue, which means they need to budget for 400 meals for all their planned guests. Regardless if TLC paid for all of it or some of it, I think we can agree that Mykelti and Tony really jumped from what they told us was going to be a small wedding, because that's what she said in confessionals, was that she wanted a small wedding with just family, to now hearing that they were going to have about 400 people. That doesn't sound small to me. 300 doesn't sound small to me, but maybe with her coming from a polygamous family, that sounds like a small number. In the video clip, Cody and Christine chime in with their thoughts on the matter, with Christine saying, "We want to give Mykelti this awesome wedding, but 400 people is a lot," calling that expensive and saying as kindly as possible that Mykelti needs to be grateful and not take advantage. Hearing that makes me think that despite what TLC was paying, that Christine felt like they were taking advantage of the situation. Back to the video. Back to the video footage at the event. Cody is seen with his head in his hands and then asking for specifics about per head costs for dinners. My question is, why would Cody do all of this if they did not somehow have to pay some portion of this, if this may not have somehow affected the family? I get that they may have had to draw out storylines, but to have this complete fabrication and to create this narrative when this really wasn't a thing makes me wonder how much of this show, other than the things that we already have come to find out, can we believe? It makes me wonder if maybe the family was given a certain budget from TLC for weddings. Maybe they're given a certain amount for that season. And if the real problem is that this wedding that is being planned by Mykelti would put them over budget. After some more cut-in commentary from the family, Christine says emphatically, "That boy is outrageous," referring to Tony. From that brief video clip alone, fans surmise that Mykelti and Tony's wedding was being paid for by their parents and solely by their parents, especially given the reaction of the pricing. Fans commented that Mykelti and Tony were way too casual about going wild with Cody's money. Even if it was his money or TLC's money, based on what we've seen of those two people, I don't think they would have had a problem spending it. And watching Madison, it seems like Madison is more concerned of things. And that's because Madison was raised by her mother, who seems to be one of the more frugal moms. Christine is frugal too, though. I can't take that away from Christine. But Mykelti is a hoarder and she gets a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we've seen all these different things of Mykelti. Whereas Madison seems to be a little bit more concerned about finances. So, assuming that the young couple thought they could get whatever they wanted for free. However, it turned out that the wedding planning episode might have been fodder for the reality TV show rather than actual reality. And that is what I have a problem with. If you want to make up something, if you want to act, don't do that. Don't have us sitting here going in on these people, getting upset about the way that these two people are when this was never really an issue. TLC reportedly paid for Mykelti and Tony's wedding. After Mykelti and Tony tied the knot in 2016, the focus was going to be on the couple's growing family, Mykelti's weight loss, and then, of course, Mykelti's mom drama came along later on. What also came to light was the fact that Cody Brown didn't actually pay a dime for Mykelti's wedding, and neither did Christine. Instead, TLC footed part of the bill. Okay, so TLC footed part of the bill. Who paid the rest? You want to know who paid the rest? According to this article, Tony paid the rest. Say what? Tony got money? I'm confused. Looks can be so deceiving because I'm confused. Tony has money? I'm confused. Okay, back to the article. The drama might have been falsified for TV, right down to Tony's scathing comment about his future in-laws taking out a loan to pay for the nuptials. That was what Kody had told his in-laws to do for his first wedding to Mary. I did not know that. Maybe I read it in the book. Can't really remember. But the fact that they're pointing out that Kody did this with Mary and now Tony's doing it with them makes me wonder, because when I saw him say that in confessional, like they could take out a mortgage on their house, it really irritated me. It really made me dislike him even more, because Tony already always looks greasy and dirty to me and unkept. And seeing him say that just was like, okay, there's a reason why I've never liked this boy, and this is part of it. But now you all tell me what you think, if you think that this was storyline or if this was real. Of course, Mykelti also expressed her feelings about her parents' divorce in recent years. We don't care about that. There may not have been love lost between the bride and her dad. And while Kody Brown was lamenting the expense of having two daughters getting married right around the same time, Maddie's wedding was in June 2016 and Mykelti's was in December. He likely wasn't footing the bill for either. And the entire family was focused on getting as much content out of the events as possible, likely at TLC's bidding. So basically, this article is speculation too, because this doesn't say that TLC has confirmed it. But we'll keep reading. After all, TLC could have publicized the fact that it was paying for at least part of Mykelti's wedding, but no one said anything about it. Much like they didn't tell us that they paid for Robin's wedding. In the book, that's how we found out that Robin's reception was paid for, because they said that that's how they were able to have the wedding when we read the book. So I guess the assumption is if they pay for that, then they would pay for this too. What's interesting to note is that technically, none of the Brown kids would have ever had a contract while appearing on Sister Wives, at least while they were children. As the kids grew up, it's likely that Kody and his wives would have received payment for the show, but none had to be legally allocated for the kids. This isn't anything new. We've heard this time and time again that with TLC, they don't pay the children, they pay the parents. And as a result, a lot of times what happens is when the kids get of age, they don't have anything. I think that Gwendolyn said that her mother paid for her college as like some form of payment. So some of them may have done some things, but they didn't receive actual payments from TLC. The payments went to the family and it was, I guess, allocated accordingly, because now they've divided that and they all have their own separate companies for separate payment. Ultimately, no one knows exactly what percent Tony paid, but it said that he took money out of a savings to finalize wedding plans. But based on the footage of the family discussion for the food for the wedding, the price for plated meals for $400 was something around $10,000 or more. For fans who watched the wedding episode, also knew that the venue wound up running out of street tacos for all the guests, although that didn't seem to put a damper on the big day. Then this goes on to talk about what Mykelti Brown does for a living. It says currently they're not clear what she does for a living, but it appears that she makes appearances on Sister Wives in a somewhat limited role. Like some of the other Brown siblings, I don't believe that they get paid for that. I think that this is a way for them to drum up stuff for their Patreon. Mykelti might feature in a storyline, but the focus and likely the salary is on Kody and his last remaining wife plus his 3 ex-wives. Over the years, Mykelti has had different jobs, from working at a pawn shop to landing a gig at a bank. Currently, her social media, where she also shares info about pregnancy and kids, indicates that she offers Patreon subscriptions to fans, which we know, and cameos for sale, and deals in Plexus, a company that sells supplements. It seems like a lot of the family is with that, because I know Christine is, I know Janelle got on board, and I think that Madison is too. So a lot of them are in those MLMs, you know. It works for them because they have the fans, so they can be at higher tiers and reap the benefits of it. But y'all be careful with them MLMs. Okay. On Mykelti's Patreon page, which also features her husband, they sign up for $9.99 a month. That's her highest package. That's not bad. To see live Q&As, access behind the scenes content, and watch live streams. Now, this may have changed because this was from 2023. Like most of her other family members, including Cody, Christine, Janelle, and Mary, among others, she sells customized cameo videos. There's no clear answer on what she got paid, if any money at all, from Sister Wives. As far as her husband, Antonio, Mykelti Brown's husband, Antonio, aka Tony, is said to have worked various jobs over the years before pivoting to working from home, at home gig in the video game industry. Why am I not surprised that he's a gamer? Nothing against gamers, but that seems like it would be something he would do. He also reps his wife's Plexus products on Instagram, showing their weight loss achievements as a result of the pink drinks and other products. While the couple may not have conventional jobs, they seem to be doing good with their current thing. So that's the end of the article, which means it's basically all speculation at this point. I'm going to read two comments that stood out to me in the last video. The first one is from officially Renata. I hope I'm saying it right. Renatta. Mykelti knew the show was paying for the weddings. That's why her and Tony were so funny acting during the season of planning. They knew the money talk was really cold for them not feeling Tony because he's Mexican. Robin was the only parent to fully embrace him, hence why they are so close to Robin to this day. They were close to Robin. I think that relationship has changed a little bit. Mykelti's making excuses for why she's reached out to Robin and not received contact, because she's talked about that on her Patreon, that Robin is, hurt right now and trying to navigate through the whole loss of another wife thing. But I thought that this was interesting because you were the first person to say it, to talk about the money talk was code for him being Mexican, because in some forms of this belief system, it is believed that, people of certain races should not be involved with them. Even in some cases, they don't even want you, in some religions, they don't even want, you to be a part of their religion. Not to say that this is that, but I'm just saying. So when I saw that, I was like, this is going to make me keep an eye out a little bit more on upcoming episodes to really see what that underlying thing is there. You all let me know what you think about that, because there was more than one person that made the statement about Tony being Mexican being the real issue. And I want to remind you all that one thing that I love about our community is that we keep it respectful on here. So please do that if you are commenting. I feel free to put how you feel down below, but keep it respectful, okay? The next one is from Tia, and it says, I honestly think TLC foot the bill for Maddie's wedding for more Sister Wives content, but Cody knew TLC wasn't going to pay for another wedding back to back. I can see that being a thing, because at this point, the Sister Wives were not getting the same traction they were in the beginning. I don't remember when it was, but there was a time where they spoke about how it was in the internet streets, in the YouTube streets, that they were at risk of losing the show, and that Cody negotiated for them, and it was a paid deduction in order for them to remain. And normally you don't lose money, you gain money as you continue filming. But I think that just as much as we can say that they took advantage of the situation, I feel like TLC took advantage of this family. She continues, making her wait until the next season filmed gave them more filler content, like planning Mykelti's wedding and another daughter he wouldn't have to come out of his pocket for. I really feel like that was all it was. Nothing to do with him having concern for his daughter, rushing into anything. He could care less about that. And I could see that too, because looking at how things have panned out, it seems to me, and you all can correct me down below in the comment section, but it seems to me that a lot of what Cody has as far as love for his kids is not unconditional. I don't even think Cody knows what love is. And I've said that in some other videos, but I'm interested to see how this plays out. I'm interested to know your thoughts. please leave them down below. My question is, number one, do you think that Cody had to come out of pocket at all for Mykelti's wedding? That's number one. Number two, do you think that there were some underlying issues like Tony's race that had to deal with their apprehensions? You all let me know your thoughts down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.